Foxborough is not in some light testing phase, it is in pressure mode. When the Patriots move a rookie tackle around, face an aggressive wide receiver trade idea, watch Drake Maye get pushed into the elite conversation, and see Mike Vrabel work through outside noise, the question is pretty simple. Who is ready to carry this new standard? Hit that like button right now, because today is not a casual stroll through headlines. This is pressure, decisions, and the Patriots defending their ground without asking anyone for permission. If you saw Caleb Lomu lining up at left tackle during rookie minicamp and immediately tried to turn it into a Will Campbell crisis, I think you are searching for smoke where there is just real football work happening. Mass Live's Mark Daniels reported that the Patriots had Lomu on the left side Saturday, and that was all it took for people to start asking, should Campbell be worried? To me, no. I'll say it directly. If a serious franchise cannot test a rookie at the position he played most in college, then what are we even doing with player development? Lomu spent most of his time at Utah playing left tackle. That is where his body understands the space, the angle, the first step, the rusher coming off the edge, and the feel of protecting the most pressured side of the line. So yes, it makes sense to open rookie minicamp there. That does not push Campbell down. That pushes Lomu forward. And a Patriots team that struggled on the offensive line last season does not have the luxury of developing players slowly just to protect a nervous fan narrative. Lomu himself gave the most mature answer you could ask for. He said in his introductory press conference that he feels comfortable on the left, but he has also been working on the right over the last few months, and he feels good at either tackle spot. That is the exact mindset I want in Foxborough. No drama, no ego, no whining about the preferred side. You want to play? Learn both. You want to wear that jersey and survive on this roster? Be useful when Plan A needs help. And here is the strategic part. Lomu's likely future is at right tackle because Morgan Moses is closer to the end of his career than the beginning, and the Patriots need to prepare the next answer before need turns into panic. But in 2026, maybe his most valuable role is something different. Real insurance behind Campbell or Moses. That matters. An offensive line is not built with 5 clean names on a depth chart. It is built with actual answers, with players who can step in without turning the entire game plan into chaos. So no, I do not buy the lazy read that Lomu on the left threatens Campbell. I see the opposite. I see the Patriots trying to toughen up a unit that could not afford to stay fragile. And if Lomu comes out of this process able to play both sides, New England gains exactly the kind of depth that separates an organized team from a team that falls apart the second one injury hits. And since we are talking about protecting Drake Maye, let's get into the part that makes this fan base sit up. Wide receiver 1. Because there comes a point where the Patriots have to stop listening to pretty excuses and deal with reality. After releasing Stephon Diggs in March, after bringing in Romeo Doubs to fill a role, there is still that uncomfortable feeling that one piece is missing, a piece that changes how defenses line up before the snap. A.J. Brown is still the name a lot of Patriots fans want in New England, but a proposal from Heavy's Dave Holcomb put another major name on the table: George Pickens. His idea would have the Patriots sending a 2027 first-round pick and 2028 third-round picks to Dallas for Pickens. That is expensive. Very expensive. And that is exactly why it needs to be discussed seriously, not laughed off like stars just magically fall into your lap. Pickens, at 25 years old, is coming off a monster season in Dallas with 1,429 yards and 9 touchdowns, and he signed the one-year, $27 million franchise tender. From what has been reported, the Cowboys do not want to trade him. They convinced Pickens to sign. They want another strong season. And in their ideal world, they work out a long-term deal after that. But that is where the conflict starts. If New England puts a future first and multiple thirds on the table, does Dallas at least listen? Maybe they do not change their mind. Maybe they say thanks and hang up. But that offer carries enough weight to make things uncomfortable. And from the Patriots side, the question gets even sharper. Do you wait on the A.J. Brown saga, or do you attack another elite receiver before the market eats up every option? Pickens would make sense on the field. He is fluid, he wins routes, he has true lead target presence, and he would give Maye a weapon who can turn contested throws into explosive plays. That changes play calling. It changes coverage. It changes the confidence of the offensive coordinator on third down. But there is also a real strategic cost. Giving up a future first for a player who would still have to fit, produce, and eventually justify a bigger contract. This is not fantasy football, this is franchise planning. My read? I understand the aggression, but I still think A.J. Brown is the stronger path if that real chance is alive. Brown feels like the more natural fit for what this fan base imagines next to Maye. Physical, reliable, ready to lead an offense that wants respect right now. Pickens is a powerful alternative, no doubt, but an alternative cannot become desperation. The Patriots need to be aggressive, but aggressive with aim. Spending big just to say you made noise is what lost teams do. New England needs a move that hurts the AFC. Now comes the part a lot of people outside New England are going to hate hearing. Drake Maye is not some cute promise anymore. He is a national problem. Lou Scaglia, writing for NFL Spin Zone at Fansided, ranked Maye as the second-best quarterback in the league, behind only MVP Matthew Stafford. Is that aggressive? Of course. Can you debate it? Absolutely. But you know what you cannot do anymore? Pretend Maye is still sitting in that group of young quarterbacks begging for permission to enter the conversation. And I already know what the critics will say. Easy schedule, system help, playoff issues, bad taste after the Super Bowl. Fine. Now let's put the numbers on the table. Maye completed 72% of his passes, posted a 113.5 passer rating, totaled nearly 5,000 yards, produced 35 touchdowns, and threw only 8 interceptions. That was in his second year in the league without a perfect group of weapons, while carrying the heaviest quarterback jersey possible. That is not normal. That is not schedule luck. That is talent showing up every single week. And this is the part that makes me fired up about the whole debate. Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels got patience when they struggled. They got context, excuses, projection, and promises of growth. So why does Drake Maye get treated like a fraud the second someone puts his name near the elite? No, that selective criticism does not fly. If the league wants to praise young quarterbacks for flashes, then it has to respect a quarterback who delivered production, efficiency, and real command of an offense. Now, I am not going to pretend being ranked second in the NFL is a crown nobody can question. Maybe it is too high right now. Stafford was the MVP, other veterans still have the resume, and Maye is about to face a tougher schedule in 2026. But there is a difference between debating the exact spot and denying the leap. Maye has shown the physical tools, the mind, the accuracy, the mobility, and the calm you cannot buy. He is not even 24 yet. That should scare the entire AFC. And the mental weight matters too. Every Patriots quarterback lives with Tom Brady's shadow in the stadium, on the broadcast, in the fan base's memory, and in every lazy comparison. Mac Jones felt that weight. Others would too. Maye so far is facing it without trying to copy anybody. He does not need to be the next Brady. He needs to be Drake Maye with better protection, stronger weapons, and a franchise that stops making the kid solve everything with his arm. Fan confidence check. From 0 to 10, where are you on Maye going into 2026? Because to me, the debate has already changed. The question is not whether the Patriots found their quarterback. The question is how far this team goes once it finally builds an offense worthy of him. And when the conversation turns to Mike Vrabel, I am going to say this very clearly. Nobody inside the Patriots gets to treat distraction like some tiny side note. This team just raised the standard, just put Drake Maye in the middle of the league conversation, just brought real expectations back to Foxborough. So any noise around the head coach becomes news, becomes debate, becomes fuel for everyone who wants to see New England slip. But there is another side to this too, and that side showed up on the field. On the second day of rookie minicamp, the only one open to the media, Vrabel arrived with Gabe Jacus, the second-round linebacker from Illinois who was assigned Vrabel's old number 50. The scene already carried weight because of tabloid reports involving Vrabel and Diana Rossini, with more photos, videos, and commentary surfacing since the original New York Post story. So the question around practice was obvious. Would he look different? Less locked in? Less intense? More distant? From what was observed, no. On the field, Vrabel was Vrabel. Running from station to station, correcting details, getting his hands dirty, teaching 7th-round pick Quintavious Hutchins how to attack the blocking sled, working technique with tackle Demetrius Crownover. That matters because a coach who demands standards cannot disappear when the environment gets uncomfortable. He has to show up in the work, in the details, in the repetition, in the eyes of a rookie trying to learn what it means to be a pro. Crownover praised that presence. He said he has already learned a lot in just a few days and that Vrabel will not let anyone slack because he stays on players to get the best out of them. Nnamdi Obiazor also said he likes having a head coach who is involved, not just standing in the background while assistants run everything. To me, that is the part critics will try to ignore. The Patriots are not asking anyone to forget the off-field issue. Vrabel himself said before the draft that he takes accountability for the actions that caused a distraction to his family, the team, the organization, and the fans. That matters. But as long as the situation does not become unmanageable inside the building, the football has to be judged by what is happening in football. And the leaders in the locker room seem to understand that. Drake Maye said in Charlotte that he does not believe the off-field issue will become a distraction for the team because Vrabel talked to the players and they are focused on getting back to work. Robert Spillane and Hunter Henry have also offered support in recent comments. That does not erase the pressure. It does not end the story. But it does show that, for now, the locker room has not cracked. My stance is firm. Vrabel has to keep answering with behavior, not pretty speeches. If the noise grows into September, the conversation changes. But on Saturday, under clouds, rain, and cameras watching every move, he coached like a real coach. And for a Patriots team trying to win, that is still the only answer that matters between the lines. At the end of the day, these four stories hit the same wall. The Patriots no longer have the right to be passive. Lomu has to become real depth on the offensive line. The Pickens or A.J. Brown debate shows that Maye deserves a weapon defenses actually fear. The ranking puts Drake in the spotlight, but it also puts a target on his back. And Vrabel, with all the noise around him, has to prove every day that the command is still solid. This is the season where New England stops asking for patience and starts demanding respect. If you are locked in with this new Patriots era, subscribe to the channel because we are tracking every move without backing down.